Greetings, humans. This is your Gemini love reading for May 30th, 2021, Sunday. I'm Sigma. Hi. The theme for today's reading: magic once again. I love it because it came up in the first Gemini reading, just sort of the generic, but this implies this might be where the magic is. I feel like it is for me, but time will tell. I suppose I should drill down on that a little bit. Because, that whatever you believe magic is, I consider it to be the forces that we don't really understand empirically yet that can affect our existences. Things like manifestation, dare I say things like prayer, things within the universe or outside of it that are affecting us but not entirely recognizable. And magic is our ability to channel them, guide them, flow with them, and control them. And it suggests that whatever follows from here is going to come from your ability to master those forces. The Rider-Waite Magician card, if I can pull it up quickly, is an excellent example of that, because here's someone who has the tools before them and doesn't step forward as the fool, but instead stands in solitude and manifests that which he desires, using air, fire, and water, and intention. Intentionality is the key to this. Let's begin. Dip your toe in the water, but don't overindulge. I love temperance for that. This is always one of my big personal challenges, because I'm one of those ones who has a hard time saying no. But here we have someone who's pouring wine between two chalices to seek to find balance between them, and standing at the end of a road. The significance of that to me is that the journey which has brought you to this point brings you to a body of water before you, and that's the choices that you have in love. Dip your toe in it, don't dive in. Test the waters, find personal balance, and see what comes forth. Good omen. 10 of Cups. Happy family, rainbow in the background. It sort of speaks for itself, but look very closely, it quite speaks for itself. The home is in the distance, it's not quite there yet, which implies that you've got a little bit of ways to go in terms of your development of love, but we'll get there. Fitting with that, 3 of Pentacles, the card of improvement. Pentacles are material, Pentacle is earth, Pentacle is the skill required to craft the tools that are necessary. And here we have the apprentice overseen by a couple of masters critiquing their work. Be open to the critique and be open to the improvement. Don't be an obstinate learner, and don't assume that you're the master just because you know a little bit about the art. There are those who know more than you. Accept with patience, but be a journeyman, not an apprentice at this point. The apprentice will follow whatever advice they give. The journeyman will take it and weigh it and see what's most applicable. Five of Wands. Conflict. Many voices speaking, but none rising to the top. Wands are about passion. Wands are about fire. And this is a case where I can't speak for yourself, but I can speak for me as a Gemini. It's an internal conflict. And I have several cups that I would enjoy drinking from, but I'm not sure which is what. So I'm going to expand on that a little bit. What can we do to facilitate unity and clarity between the competing voices inside of us regarding love? Emotional mastery. Here we have someone on unstable waters, seated on a stable throne, and this is your charisma leader. This is your charisma leader, someone who is an empath and someone who is able to connect with their subjects on a deep level and give themselves and them meaningful advice from a life well lived. This is someone it's not their first rodeo. And in the context of the Five of Wands, what this suggests to me is that you need to, can't speak for you, but I suggest that we master the unsteady waters on which we sit, and remember what's valuable to us, what fills our chalice, and what would we fill others with. Let that guide the decision more than acceptance, more than availability, more than seduction. What is our greatest enemy? The Lord of Abundance. The Lord of Abundance in relation to love is something that a lot of people have issues with, in the sense that we measure the securities and the secondary gains that we might get from a relationship over the love that we feel and the sense of attachment that grows between us. We look at the cups behind the person and say, this is why I'm getting in the relationship, although we'll say we like them. Well, let's face it, we can make ourselves like or love anyone if we wanted to. And this is one in which we have a danger of forcing ourselves to love someone because of what they might offer us. And as you can see from the person seated in front of it with our arms crossed, this creates in your lover a guardian, a threshold, and a gatekeeper, someone whom you have to please in order to get to what's behind them. So don't be shallow. And your greatest ally. The King of Wands. I love this one. I sympathize a lot with King of Wands, or rather I identify a lot with King of Wands, because this is the King of the Commons. This is someone who identifies with and understands the ordinary, and yet has a rarefied taste of their own that they have developed. And what it suggests to me is, no matter what my degree of mastery and understanding is, that I've got to be able to communicate to levels that aren't my own. Dare I say beneath my own? We're not allowed to say beneath in this society because we're all equal, right? But I'm going to say, to communicate beneath your level. Perhaps you are, how to put it, an expert in a particular field. Don't necessarily look for love within that same expertise. Don't necessarily look for an intellectual peer or an emotional peer or a career peer, but rather say, I'm looking outside of my own classification, whether it's class, whether it's specialty, whatever it is. Look outside of the court and you'll find your answer there. Good luck, Gemini.